What would you sacrifice for true love? Would you descend into the underworld, face the wrath of gods, or complete tasks that seem utterly impossible? Today, we dive into one of Greek mythology's most beautiful and harrowing tales of love, sacrifice, and divine trials. In ancient Greece, stories weren't just entertainment. They were profound explorations of human nature, divine power, and the eternal struggles we all face. These myths shaped how Greeks understood love, beauty, jealousy, and the price of defying the gods. Among all these tales, the story of Psyche stands out as perhaps the most moving testament to love's transformative power. Our story begins with Psyche, a mortal princess whose beauty rivals that of Aphrodite herself, the goddess of love and beauty. This isn't merely physical attractiveness. In Greek thought, beauty reflected divine favor and inner worth. Psyche's beauty is so extraordinary that people stop worshipping Aphrodite and instead offer prayers to this mortal girl. Imagine Aphrodite's fury. She's the goddess who commands love itself, yet mortals are abandoning her temples for a human child. In her rage, she summons her son, Eros, known to Romans as Cupid, the god who shoots arrows that make people fall in love. Her command is simple and cruel: make Psyche fall in love with the most hideous creature alive. But when Eros sees Psyche, something unprecedented happens. He accidentally pricks himself with his own arrow and falls desperately in love with the very woman he's meant to curse. This moment changes everything. Even gods, it seems, are not immune to love's power. Meanwhile, Psyche's beauty becomes her curse. No mortal man dares approach someone so divine-looking. She remains alone, admired but unloved, while her less beautiful sisters marry and find happiness. Her parents, desperate for answers, consult the oracle of Apollo at Delphi. The oracle's prophecy chills them to the bone. Psyche must be dressed as a bride and left on a mountain peak where a terrible winged serpent will claim her as his wife. This creature, the oracle declares, is so fearsome that even Zeus fears him. With heavy hearts, Psyche's family conducts what feels like a funeral procession. They dress her in wedding clothes and lead her to the appointed mountain. As they leave her alone on that desolate peak, Psyche prepares for death rather than marriage. But instead of a monster, the gentle west wind lifts her up and carries her to a magnificent palace hidden in a secret valley. This palace defies imagination. Gold gleams everywhere, precious stones sparkle in walls that seem alive with magic, and invisible servants attend to her every need. As night falls, her mysterious husband arrives. She can hear his voice, feel his presence, but she cannot see him. He speaks with tenderness and wisdom, treating her with respect and genuine love. He explains that she must never try to look upon him, for if she does, they will be separated forever. For months, Psyche lives in this paradise. By night, she enjoys her husband's company and grows to love him deeply. By day, she explores the wonders of her magical home. Yet doubt begins to gnaw at her heart, planted by her jealous sisters who visit and poison her mind with suspicions. They convince her that her husband must be the prophesied monster, hiding his hideous form in darkness, planning to devour her when she's fat enough. Torn between love and fear, Psyche makes a fateful decision. One night, while her husband sleeps, she lights an oil lamp. In the flickering light, she sees not a monster, but the most beautiful being imaginable. Eros himself, with golden wings and a face that embodies divine perfection. Her heart fills with joy and relief. But then disaster strikes. A drop of hot oil falls from her trembling lamp onto his shoulder. Eros awakens in pain and betrayal. Without a word, he spreads his magnificent wings and flies away, taking the palace and all its magic with him. Psyche finds herself alone on an empty hillside, her paradise lost through a moment of doubt. But love doesn't die easily. Determined to win back her husband, Psyche begins a desperate search across the ancient world. She prays at temples, pleads with other gods, and finally arrives at the temple of Aphrodite herself. The goddess who started this whole tragedy now sees her chance for revenge. Aphrodite's smile is cruel as she looks upon the bedraggled mortal who dared to rival her beauty and steal her son's heart. She agrees to help Psyche find Eros, but only if she completes 4 impossible tasks. These aren't mere chores. They're divine challenges designed to destroy a mortal woman. The first task seems simple but is actually impossible. Aphrodite presents Psyche with an enormous pile of mixed seeds, grains, and legumes. She must sort them all by type before nightfall or face death. As Psyche stares at this mountain of tiny seeds, despair overwhelms her. But love inspires unexpected allies. A colony of ants moved by her plight swarms over the pile. Working with incredible organization, they sort every single seed by type. When Aphrodite returns, she finds the task completed perfectly. Her anger burns hotter. The second task sends Psyche to obtain golden fleece from sheep with razor-sharp wool that can cut a person to ribbons. These aren't ordinary sheep. They're fierce, aggressive creatures whose fleece gleams like metal. As Psyche approaches their pasture, she again faces certain death. A river reed whispers advice to her. Wait until noon, when the sheep rest in shade. Then gather fleece caught on thorns and branches around the field's edges. Following this counsel, Psyche collects armfuls of golden fleece without confronting the dangerous sheep directly. Aphrodite's fury intensifies when she sees this task also completed. The third challenge pushes beyond the mortal realm entirely. Psyche must climb to the source of the river Styx, which flows from a towering, unclimbable cliff guarded by dragons. She needs to fill a crystal flask with this water of the underworld. As Psyche stands before this impossible cliff, an eagle suddenly appears. This magnificent bird, sacred to Zeus himself, takes pity on her. It seizes the crystal flask in its talons and soars up to the terrifying heights, past the guardian dragons, to fill it with Styx water. 3 impossible tasks completed, but Aphrodite saves the worst for last. The fourth task requires Psyche to descend into the underworld itself and ask Persephone, queen of the dead, for a box of beauty ointment. This isn't just dangerous. It's a journey no living person should survive. As Psyche contemplates this final, seemingly fatal task, she climbs a high tower, planning to throw herself off and reach the underworld through death. But the tower itself speaks to her, providing detailed instructions for surviving this ultimate trial. The tower explains exactly how to navigate the underworld's dangers. She must carry 2 coins for Charon the ferryman, and 2 pieces of barley bread to distract Cerberus, the 3-headed guard dog. Most importantly, she must not help anyone she meets along the way, no matter how much they plead, for these are tricks designed to make her drop her provisions. Following these instructions precisely, Psyche descends into the realm of the dead. She pays Charon to ferry her across the river Styx, feeds barley bread to massive Cerberus, and ignores the desperate pleas of spirits trying to trick her. She reaches Persephone's dark palace and humbly requests the box of beauty. Persephone, perhaps moved by this mortal's incredible journey, grants the request. She provides a small box and warns Psyche never to open it. The return journey proves equally treacherous, but Psyche successfully emerges from the underworld with her prize. But curiosity and vanity prove stronger than wisdom. Exhausted from her trials and hoping to make herself beautiful for her reunion with Eros, Psyche opens the forbidden box. Instead of beauty ointment, it contains the sleep of death itself. She collapses, falling into a death-like slumber. Meanwhile, Eros has been imprisoned by his mother, but love finds a way. He escapes and discovers Psyche's motionless form. With infinite tenderness, he wipes the deadly sleep from her face and awakens her with a gentle touch. Their reunion overflows with joy, forgiveness, and deeper love forged through suffering. But their story isn't over. Eros flies straight to Zeus, king of the gods, and pleads their case. Zeus, perhaps remembering his own complicated love affairs, decides to resolve this divine drama once and for all. He summons all the gods to witness a wedding ceremony. In this moment, Zeus transforms Psyche from mortal to goddess, giving her ambrosia to drink and making her immortal. The wedding of Eros and Psyche becomes one of the most celebrated events in divine history. Even Aphrodite, seeing her son's happiness and Psyche's proven worthiness, finally accepts this union. This myth resonates across centuries because it captures universal truths about love's nature. True love requires trust, but trust must be rebuilt when broken. Love demands sacrifice and perseverance through seemingly impossible challenges. Most profoundly, love transforms us, making us capable of achievements we never imagined possible. Psyche's name means soul in Greek, and her story represents the soul's journey toward divine love. Each impossible task symbolizes the trials we face when pursuing something truly worthwhile. The ants represent community support, the eagle divine intervention, and the tower wisdom gained through experience. This tale has inspired countless artists, writers, and lovers throughout history. From Renaissance paintings to modern novels, Psyche's story continues to move us because it proves that love, when genuine and persistent, can overcome any obstacle, even the wrath of gods.